don't, then that is wrong. It's not wrong to have no desire for kids. It is wrong to have kids if you don't want to have them and you lie about wanting to have them. I mean, have integrity. It's a problem when you're in an institution that shames you for living your best life. And your best life might be traveling because you have no kids. Your best life might be being a teacher, because extreme versions of religion believe that the only way to impact the youth of tomorrow is to squeeze one out. You can be a teacher, you can be a mentor, you can be a coach, and impact the youth of tomorrow. You don't have to tuck one in bed every night to impact the next generation. I have no plans on ever having children. I prefer being an aunt, even though I haven't met half of my nieces and nephews. I'm just not the maternal sort, and I just don't want a heteronormative, very strict, sterile relationship and marriage. I'd rather live alone and enjoy my life. And just because I live alone doesn't mean I'm lonely. That's the first thing that people say. Are you ace or are you lonely? Asexual people are not lonely. Now, not inherently anyway. I'm sure there are asexual people out there that are lonely, just like a married cis straight woman can be lonely. But someone isn't 100% lonely every moment of the day because they're not married or they're single. Some of the most miserable women I have ever met were cis straight married women in church. I don't want to get married as a cis straight woman because I know that I have the least statistics for being happy and satisfied due to being attracted to a cis straight man. If you Google which group of sexual preference has the least satisfaction in every part of a relationship, the least is always straight cis women who choose to be in relationships with cis straight men. Why would I want to get married and be in a relationship when I know that I have the highest chance of catching an STI, attracting a toxic partner, or being unsatisfied? I'd just rather live alone. I have friends. I don't need kids to forget that I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. And yes, asexual people are marginalized, even within the queer community. Pride in 2025, there were several cities that I guess forgot to put up the asexual flag. In secular society, while often perceived as more accepting than religious communities, they can still be a source of discrimination and persecution against asexual people. We call it acephobia or aphophobia. The bias manifests in several ways, both overt and subtle. The number one, Christians love this one, and Republicans. Erasure and invisibility. The denial of asexuality as a valid identity. Many people, including those within their own group, refuse to accept asexuality as a genuine sexual orientation, often confusing it with celibacy or abstinence. Lack of representation. Asexuality is often ignored or underrepresented in media, culture, and services, making it harder for asexual people to find support, resources, and recognition. For example, some online dating services lack the option for users to identify as asexual. So the first option is just erasing, ignoring, and invisibility. The second is prejudice and stereotypes. Dehumanization and pathologization, that's a long word, of asexual people are sometimes stereotyped as less human, deficient, broken, or a condition that needs to be fixed. This can be seen in media portrayals that depict asexuality as problematic or anti-natural. The belief in the inheritability of attraction. Society often assumes that everyone experiences sexual attraction, leading to negative perceptions and stereotypes about those who don't. This can make it difficult for asexual individuals to form friendships and social connections. Exclusion within the queer community. Some people within the LGBTQ+ community question the inclusion of asexual people, arguing that they don't experience oppression on the same level as other groups. The third reason, direct discrimination and harassment. Verbal abuse and harassment. Asexual people can be subjected to verbal abuse, bullying, harassment, online or in person. Pressure to engage in sexual activity. Asexual individuals may face pressure from partners, family members, or medical healthcare professionals to engage in sexual acts, sometimes leading to sexual coercion and violence. Now, this is going to be pretty triggering. Corrective RAPE. In extreme cases, asexual people have been subjected to corrective assault, where perpetrators attempt to cure or fix their asexuality through sexual violence. Discrimination in healthcare. Asexual individuals may face difficulties accessing healthcare or subjected to unnecessary medical interventions to address their lack of sexual attraction. Legal discrimination. While less documented, there have been instances of allosexism, bias against asexual people, in legal settings such as asylum application of marriage laws. Number 4, indirect discrimination, allosexism. Social norms, the pervasive belief that sexual attraction is a universal and essential aspect of being human, known as allonormality, can create a hostile environment for asexual people. This can manifest in subtle ways, such as assumptions about relationships and social interactions. What are the consequences of discrimination? Mental health issues. Asexual individuals, particularly young people, report higher rates of depression and anxiety compared to other groups within the LGBTQ peers. Difficulties in coming out. Fear of negative reactions make it difficult for asexual people to be open about their identity. Social isolation, lack of understanding and acceptance can lead to feelings of isolation and exclusion from both the straight and queer communities. In conclusion, discrimination and persecution against asexual people exist within secular society, manifesting in various forms ranging from subtle bias to overt violence. Efforts to combat this require greater awareness, education, and legal protections to ensure that asexuality is recognized and respected as a valid orientation. I don't think that's going to happen under President Trump. But I think acephobia is going to be very prominent in a culture that worships sex, worships the family, and creates an idol out of all the above. Protect the family is probably should be stamped on every Republican's forehead. If you don't have sex, you don't have a family. At least that's how they view it. You watch television shows, movies. Anyone who's not having sex or in a relationship is shamed. Usually the non-American character fits this. People who are socially awkward or have a fear of speaking to women are ridiculed. Being a virgin is considered a social suicide move. When you exist in a secular and religious culture that worships the idea of sex, you can imagine how people that just don't fit into that box, how they feel. How many poor individuals grow up thinking they're broken or they need to be fixed or there's something wrong with them because 99% of the world is obsessed with something they either may not understand or something they've never felt a need for. And luckily we have more representation now in media, but it's nothing compared to the other groups within the queer community. Ace people fear violence. They fear being forgotten. And when you don't conform to the norms of society, they're treated like pariahs. Luckily, the Trevor Project has saved the lives of many asexual people, educating them, helping them gain resources and support groups. And sometimes the worst shamers in society are people in the gay community. And sometimes people in the LGBTQ plus community can be extremely toxic because even some of them don't understand that not everybody wants to do what they've fought so hard to get, the ability to have sex with whoever they want. Sometimes asexual people feel oppressed by a society that expects everyone to fit in. Everyone must have sexual partners, romantic dates. And if you don't, you're sick, maladjusted, or God forbid, celibate. I think in society it's easier for a woman to be celibate than a man because women are expected to have as little sex as possible while men are expected to have as many partners as physically possible. If a man makes it to 30 and is still a virgin, he's probably going to hide it more than a woman will. I've met people who were aces that said that doctors or psychologists insisted that their sexuality of being ace was a symptom of being broken and trying to fix them. And even in the legalities of marriage, a lot of states still have laws on the books that say if you don't consummate a